is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today, and today we're actually gonna have a lot of fun. We're gonna be breaking down my team for Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. This is gonna be a video where I discuss the team that I plan on using throughout the Sinnoh region in the Pokemon remakes coming out this November. And if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to hit that like button down below and make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new for Pokemon videos every single day. I'm really curious to hear your thoughts on your team that you're going into Diamond and Pearl with, the remakes, in the comment section below. So let me know what your favorite Sinnoh Pokemon are. I'm really excited to break this down, and I want to let you guys know that normally I do two different playthroughs. I do a Shiny playthrough, and I do a Bug playthrough. So this video is going to be detailing the Shiny playthrough. So for the purpose of this video, let's assume everything on my team is Shiny, and then I'm going to Shiny hunt every single thing, and then we'll do a Bug playthrough video if you guys want to see that. I think if you guys hit 3,000 likes on this video, I'll do my team breakdown of the Bug playthrough that I'm going to do, which is just kind of an aDrive thing. I've done that for pretty much every game that's ever come out. Now, fun fact about Diamond and Pearl is I actually had the opportunity to play Pokemon Pearl when it first came out in Japan. So my first ever playthrough of the Sinnoh region was in Japanese, which is pretty nuts. Way back in the day, my stepmom happened to be in Japan at the time for business. She brought back a copy of Diamond and Pearl, or Pearl rather, for me. And I remember playing through the entire game in Japanese, and it was a lot of fun. But without further ado, I digress. Let's talk about the team that I'll be bringing in the Sinnoh region. So it's a tough choice to start things off, but you already know I'm picking my man Torterra. Torterra, or Turtwig as the grass starter, is my homie in the Sinnoh region. I generally pick grass type starters most of the time, and while I do like Chimchar and I do like Empoleon, I feel like I gotta stick with the OG. That was the original starter that I picked, going way back to that Japanese copy of Pearl. So I'm definitely picking Turtwig, and I would love to get a shiny one because I actually feel like this has the best shiny of the three starters, and that's why I'm picking this thing. It also gives me a really good opportunity to beat Roark, which is the first gym leader, the rock type gym leader on this playthrough. So I'm gonna be definitely picking Turtwig. The next Pokemon I'm going to pick up is definitely going to be a Starly, and that might be surprising because there's some really cool early game Pokemon like Shinx, but to me, Staraptor is a premier Pokemon. You already know we got to have Mohawk on the team. Staraptor is incredibly powerful and very fast, and while it is high risk, high reward with his recoil moves like Brave Bird, he can deal so much damage, and he's actually pretty good against a handful of the different gyms. Having a flying type Pokemon on the team is always recommended, especially if you need to travel around the map, so that gives me some utility there. And actually having a normal type is also really good because one of the gym leaders in this game is, of course, a ghost type. So you already know we're picking Starly on that first route. He's going to help me out. He's going to help me beat up some of these trainers. Very powerful early game and evolves pretty quickly. Oftentimes has Intimidate, which is an incredible ability to have on an early game Pokemon. And especially if I choose to Nuzlocke this game, it's going to be a shiny playthrough, so it'll be a little different. But Intimidate is just so good. You guys have seen it in the current Daybreak series. Having Intimidate has just been so powerful. So there's no way I could possibly leave that out. We got to rock with my homie Staraptor. Now, once we get past our first gym and we go through Floraroma Town, we actually have the chance to get a Shellos or a Gastrodon. And I'm all about blue Shellos, best Shellos. Let me tell you guys, I personally think that the blue one is the best one. So what I might do is I might actually get the pink one and then replace it with the blue one when I get to Pastoria City later on in the game. Because again, blue Shellos, best Shellos, or I'll have someone trade me a blue Shellos or whatever. Because your boy likes the blue one way more than the pink one. But Gastrodon's a super duper cool Pokemon. It's ground, it's water type, it's very good against water type Pokemon. It only has one weakness, which I happen to have a resistance on the team. With Staraptor able to take those hits, and I feel like having Gastrodon on the team, so good. It's got reliable recovery, being able to recover itself. If it has Storm Drain, it can dodge those attacks, those water type attacks, actually gain a special attack boost, which is really good later in the game against gym leaders like Crash or Wake. It's not weak to anything outside of grass, so it's really good, and you'll see I'll end up getting a few other Pokemon on my team that can deal with grass types as well. So you already know we're picking blue Shellos, best Shellos. That's Gary the Gastrodon, by the way, so don't get it twisted. Heading into Eterna Forest, we have the opportunity to catch our first ghost type of the game, and while it's not my favorite shiny, I feel like it's too good to pass up. We're gonna be grabbing Misdreavus. Misdreavus is a ghost type Pokemon that has a new evolution in the Diamond and Pearl games in Mismagius. It's actually Fantina's ace, and I feel like a Mismagius is a really powerful Pokemon to have on a team. You can utilize it with its very good speed stat at base 105. It's got great special attack and the opportunity to set up with nasty plots. It also could be doing statuses with things like Will-O-Wisp. Ghost is an incredibly powerful offensive typing, and I feel like I'd be mistaken to not grab the powerful Mismagius out of Eterna Forest at nighttime, heading into Eterna City and getting ready for Gardenia. Gardenia, the grass-type gym leader, looks to be a bit of a problem, but I feel like with our Staravia at our side and our Grotto, we should have no problems beating down her Roserade. I feel like having Intimidate helps us deal with some of the offensive physical attackers, and we could just be spamming wing attacks all day. I don't think her Roserade is going to stand up to my powerful Staravia, but I'll also have the opportunity to use my Misdreavus at that time, which does resist those poison-type moves. So if it's carrying a powerful poison-type move, I'll be able to deal with that pretty well. I can handle those attacks and ultimately get our second gym badge. After you beat Gardenia, you'll actually have access to get the Explorer Kit. And the Explorer Kit opens up the world of fossils. And you already know I'm gonna get my man, Big Face Bastiodon. My man is awesome. This Pokemon is incredibly defensive, and while he does have some big weaknesses to fighting and ground types, I actually have really good ways to deal with that because I happen to have a Pokemon on my team that is immune to ground types with Levitate, Misdreavus, and is immune to fighting types because it's a ghost type Pokemon. That paired with my flying type Staraptor, I feel like Bastiodon is a perfect fit to this team. I feel like it's got a really cool shiny, and it's a Pokemon that you don't really see a lot of people love and use. I feel like he's gonna be a lot of fun, and we can utilize moves like Toxic, Protect, Metal Burst, and have him just be the ultimate tank of the team, especially to go nicely with Torterra, which can also tank those hits on both the physical side and the special side. I really believe in my man Bastiodon. Our next gym leader is Maylene, and at this point in time, you know I've got my Grotto, I've got my Staravia, I've got my Bastiodon, presumably, or a Shieldon, I've got my Misdreavus, and this is the time, and we've actually got our Gastrodon as well, this is the time where things get a little trickier. My Staravia is going to have to put in work. Maybe it's a Staraptor at this point. It could deal with a lot of Maylene's threats, and then we have two ground-type Pokemon, Gastrodon and Torterra, to hopefully deal with her Lucario. So hopefully we can handle that fighting-type gym badge pretty well, but we do have that powerful Staraptor, and Intimidate should shut down those offensive power. Plus, again, we have a complete fighting immunity with our Misdreavus or Mismagius at that point in the game, so we shouldn't have too many problems with Maylene. Next, we head to Pastoria City and Crasher Wake with his Water-type team. I obviously have a really good matchup against Water types, and I have my Blue Shellos now, so I have my Blue Gastrodon ready to Storm Drain or absorb all those Water-type hits. We have a Torterra, which should be able to deal massive damage, and we also have a couple other Pokemon. I think Misdreavus is really strong here. I feel like we've got a lot of opportunities to deal with these Pokemon. I do feel like Crasher Wake is probably going to be the harder gym for me, assuming Gastrodon can't hold it down on its own, but I do have a Torterra, so as long as I'm not getting hit with Ice Fangs and Ice Beams, I think we'll be all right. Next up is Fantina, assuming we're doing the Diamond and Pearl gym structure, and she's obviously got her ghost types, but this should be no problem for a Mismagius and a Staraptor at this point in the game. Those Pokemon should just fly through. We have a ghost immunity. If our Mismagius is faster, which it should speed tie with the other Mismagius or even outspeed it, it hits off a Shadow Ball or even a powerful ghost type move like Hex, it should be dealing a massive amount of damage. We have a Bastiodon, which can take those flying type moves from Drifblim and those poison type moves from Gengar. So Bastiodon should be able to deal with any extra hits that it needs to. It's just so incredibly tanky. Not really worried about this one either. Up next is Byron from Canalave City and his Steel-type Pokemon, and we already have a good team for this, right? You know we have the very powerful Torterra, we've got a Gastrodon. Those two alone should be able to deal with anything Byron can throw at us. This should be an easy one. Next, we're headed to Snow Point City. We gotta climb our way all the way up to the top of that snowy mountain, and this is where my final team member of the game is gonna come from, and that is gonna be Abomasnow. Now, you may be surprised to hear that I pick up Abomasnow, but I feel like having another grass type and an ice type Pokemon on the team could actually be really advantageous. I know I doubled down on a couple types, but I'm picking my favorites, and I think that this is a cool Pokemon. I like Abomasnow a lot. He sets up the weather, which could be really good to change opposing Pokemon's weather. He's got priority in Ice Shard, hits incredibly hard with 100% accurate blizzards. I feel like that alone justifies him. He serves as a great counter to Candace and most of her team, and I also have other Pokemon to deal with those Pokemon if I have to. Her ice types are going to be tough, but Bastiodon can deal with them. Will have that Abomasnow, and Gastrodon should be able to deal with any ice types not named Abomasnow itself, so Candace shouldn't be too hard at all. And the last gym leader is, of course, Volkner in Sunny Shore City, and that's where our ground types come into play again. Torterra and Gastrodon should be able to hold it down without a problem, but if I have to use my Bastiodon or I have to use my Abomasnow, which is, of course, an electric type resist, we've got those in our back pocket. We should be able to blow through the Sunny Shore Gym as well. From there, we head to the Diamond and Pearl Elite Four in Sinnoh, and we kick things off against Aaron, the Bug-type Elite Four member, the only Bug-type Elite Four member if you don't count Alder, a champion. And Aaron should honestly not even be that bad. We've got a lot of opportunities there to just wipe the floor with him with the Staraptor, which pretty much wrecks everything. Bastiodon, another one, a rock type, should be able to completely wall most of these Pokemon, so I'm not even in the slightest bit concerned. Moving forward is Bertha, the ground type master. You already know my Torterra runs this entire trainer, And we also have Gary the Gastrodon, which should have no problems against Bertha as well. Flint is probably actually the hardest trainer. We do have our Gastrodon to deal with the fire types. It could be a little bit tricky though, because I don't have the best ways to deal with it. If he does have his Steelix and his other non-fire types, because his team is not very diverse, there's only 2 fire types in Sinnoh, at least in the regular Diamond and Pearl decks. I'm sure they're going to change it. We could probably use some other Pokemon like Torterra to deal with Steelix and stuff like that. But I'm expecting him to have an updated team, so a lot of this battle does rest on the shoulders of Gary the Gastrodon once again. And the 4th member of the Elite Four is, of course, Lucian, which is the Psychic-type Master. And you already know I've got a very powerful Ghost-type Pokemon in Hermione, the Mismagius. I've also got the very, very powerful Bastiodon, which can sponge hits from pretty much any Psychic-type. It is not concerned about those Psychic-type hits. And then I've just got a well-rounded team in general that can deal with those Pokemon. And of course, you already know about the final champion. Everyone knows it is Cynthia. Cynthia and her very powerful team. But let me tell you what, Abomasnow absolutely wrecks Cynthia. Abomasnow finishes off Garchomp, Gastrodon, and Milotic without any problems. Can deal with Roserade as well if it can take 1 hit. And then we got Gary the Gastrodon and Torterra to deal with Lucario. Not even in the slightest bit concerned. Staraptor probably runs Spiritombs. Face off, all those souls are getting destroyed, and I feel like we got the perfect team to take on Sinnoh. So now that I'm basically the champion of the Sinnoh region with my brand new team, you guys can let me know your thoughts on the squad I'd be bringing to the Sinnoh region for the upcoming Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl games, and you can also let me know in the comment section below what team you're going to be rocking with in the upcoming Gen 4 remakes. If you guys want to see the bug type breakdown of my only bug playthrough, let me know and show the love. Hit that like button down below. 3,000 likes is greatly appreciated on this one, and we'll throw you guys that awesome My Team video for the bug squad. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. These are subject to change. I know we have some overlaps on types, but these are the 6 Pokemon that I plan to rock with and Shiny Hunt in Diamond and Pearl remakes. It's gonna be a blast. I hope you guys are there for the ride, as I'll be streaming the whole dang thing. Thank you guys for watching this one. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.